morning, good afternoon. We are going to get started probably in about 2, 3 minutes to give everybody a chance to log in. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. Thank you for the update, by the way. Go ahead and get this thing started and go from here. So, okay, everybody can see my screen. Welcome to our um, lunch and learn here. Today's topic is going to be paperless office. So, in the year and a half that I've been with Oasis, that I've noticed that a fair number of customers are not using the paperless office, um, and from various reasons. Some people insist upon having that um, you know paper that they want to file, and then CPA requires it or whatever. So what I wanted to do here is kind of explain to you and show you how you can use paperless office and still have your hard paper printout if you desire it. Okay. The major thing with the paperless office is your journals and registers, your period end reports. All these can be stored electronically within Sage and can be recalled at virtually any time. I've logged into some customers in the past several months that have documents in paperless office going back to 2010, 2012, and everything. So it comes in very handy, especially if you have an issue and you get a member of the Oasis team on hand that needs help you research it. So we just go to the paperless office. We can pull up the document and solve the problem. Be done that much quicker. So obviously, I'm a big fan of paperless office. A second feature of paperless office is the ability to email documents out of the system. Okay, so if you have AP checks and you're doing ACHs and you want to email the remittance advice, if you have payroll and you're using something like direct deposit, or you have want to keep a track of the check stub, all these things can be emailed. Okay, invoices, customer statements, purchase orders, all these can be emailed just by virtue of setting it up properly and um, clicking a button or two, and it can be done virtually automatic. Okay. I'm going to start out with the general setup of paperless office. And down here under paperless office in my menu, paperless office options. Okay, so turn it on for forms, reports, journals and registers, period end reports, and customer viewer for loading data on initial viewer access. Notice that I have the journal and registers turned off, period end report viewer, and the employee viewer turned off. And the reason for that is that if you're using paperless office long enough, that is going to be a window that will be filled up immediately. And sometimes it might take a second or two to populate the journal viewer, the register viewer type situation. So what I do is I do not turn that on as far as populating on startup. Is when I go to paperless office, I go in there and I just have a reset button, and I have to refresh a button. I'm sorry, and I have the ability to just call up the data when I'm ready for it. Okay, and then another thing over here is optional, but keep only the last PDF copy. Okay, so I have reports, journals, registers. Sometimes if you do it, more than once, do you feel like you need the previous copy? Okay, so my preference is to just only keep the last copy, and there are certainly people out there that will disagree with me. Okay, next thing is setting it up. So journal and register, and you have all documents. You can set up, all modules, all companies, all modules, all documents, and you give it the path where you want to keep it. So yeah, keep a paperless office, and then I choose to have a folder for journals and registers. Do I want to auto create the PDF? Okay. If I want to prompt it, it means every time you print the journal or register, it's going to ask you, do you want to do it? And I haven't figured out a reason why I wouldn't want to do it. So I generally just say yes. Okay. And do I want to password protect this? Yes or no? Then I would just enter the password here. Only the appropriate people can get into it. That does bring up the subject of payroll, where you have sensitive information. So you set up the payroll for Paperless Office, and you password protect it, and you enter the password here so that only the employees or the team members that need to access it can access it by entering the password. Okay, and I tend to do that on virtually all of them. Same thing in period end report maintenance. Everything wants to go on the other screen today. So um, then I auto create it, yes. And in this case, payroll for quarter end, all stuff there because it does once again potentially contain some information that doesn't need to be public. So we password protect it. In addition to that, we have the forms, and come in here and all documents here. And so you come in here, specify the email address that it's coming from. Just full description. I'm not a big fan of ignoring errors because otherwise I won't know there's a problem. And then where do I want to store it? So when you're issuing out a purchase order, okay, and you want to email it to the vendor, it's going to be a copy of it's going to be stored here. Keep only the last copy. If I delete the document, then I'll delete the PDF also. Once again, these are options, and just in case of an issue, there could be override password. Okay. Then, when you are emailing out forms type situation, you come in here, vendor maintenance, and choose your vendor. Okay. And paperless delivery options. And okay, in the case that we're AP for vendors, what documents do I want to email? AP check, a purchase order. Okay, I put a check mark in email. I can password protect it if I like. And who do I want to send it to? So come in here, select who I want. Down here, I can carbon copy anybody that I choose and accept. And so that way, when I do a purchase order for Airway Properties, then it's going to, when I go to print it, it's just going to go out to automatically to that person. Same thing with customers, accounts receivable. Okay, and that's the customer maintenance. Pick a customer. You can get past the notes up here or paperless delivery options. For this customer, do I want to deliver sales order invoices, the sales order itself, RMAs, the AR statement, any of these documents, and you're going to specify each one because it's potential that each of these documents could go to a different person. Okay, at the other end. So, let's say an SO invoice could go to purchasing. I don't think I have anything. Okay, let's say here, I'll do John Quinn. Okay, except then I can say the statement email, and I'm going to send the statement to already. So everybody kind of gets the idea. You, if you have contacts and you're using contacts, you can pretty much email it to any person that you designate, or in this case, that the customer designate to receive certain documents. And then, okay, I'll just accept here. When it comes time, so I'm going to say period end, statement printing. Okay. Probably should have shared my other screen. Come in here, instead of right here, paperless office output, print all. I can just say electronically deliver only, which is my favorite. And then you also have uh, print PDF or electronically deliver. So what happens here is if you print PDF or electronically deliver, if a customer is set up for electronic delivery, then it will go out to them. And if they're not set up for electronic delivery, it'll automatically print a hard copy of it. In this case, it's print PDF, and you can deliver it to them appropriately. Then once you have this done, okay, I don't want to, yeah, I'll come out here and you print. Okay, and so I'm not set up properly on this part of it, so give me an error message, um, and the device is not ready, so I have to get in there and troubleshoot my printers on my computer here. Okay, but the same principle will come up for anything that has a form. If you set it up and you set up the vendor, the customer properly, the forms will do have the ability to be emailed. Sometimes a customer or a vendor may not want an email, and you can choose not to send them. They can choose not to be set up properly. Okay. Does anybody have any questions at this point? Want to raise your hand or something like that? Okay. So, as far as the actual store, one's important thing is payroll. If you're emailing their stub or emailing the remittance advice, you definitely can turn on the password even at the other end, so that the employee at the other end that's going to receive the email um, has to enter a password. And typically, we set up the password to be the employee's a portion of their social security number or something along those lines. Everybody go with that? Okay. Now, the big thing is paperless office, journal and register. Come here and see, notice it's blank here because I chose not to populate it. You can come in here and get very fine tune it down to a specific day if you're looking for something, you're doing some research on why something happened here. And then when you're ready, I mean, you can narrow it down a specific module if you like. And kind of payable type situation, and click on refresh, and then everything's going to pop up that falls in here in with it. Now, this is my demo data, so it really doesn't have a wealth of documents, but all I have to do is come in here and double click on it, and I can see my register. I want another hard copy printout, or I need to send it to the CPA or something like that, then it can always be done straight from here. Okay. And because it's in a PDF format, it really doesn't take up that much space on the screen. So let's do something. Let's do an AP invoice. Okay. And let's see here. Okay. Okay, I'll use the date for an invoice. They didn't send me an invoice number. I come in here. AC maintenance. Gonna go to this account here, accept it. And just for grins, I'll choose somebody else also. Um, Monitor. Okay, so I've got a couple of them in here. I come in here, I click on my printer, and the whole key to using Paperless Office is always click on print. For those of you that are accustomed to clicking on preview, so you can see what the register is all about before you do anything, preview will disconnect you from Paperless Office, and it will not, even if you print it out from the preview, all you're going to get is a hard copy. You're not going to get anything into Paperless Office. So the real key is always click on print. Okay. And it will preview it for you. So here I've got the two invoices I just did. And if I feel like I need a hard copy here, then feel free to print it out from here, from the preview screen. And then you can fulfill everybody's needs there. Come out of here and then update the invoice register. Okay, from here, Paperless Office, I'm going to go to the Journal and Register viewer, and I'll just click on refresh. And here's the one I just did. I have my daily transaction registers in here, and I have my AP invoice register. That, research it, figure it out, and then you're done. I can do the same thing with the AP, the daily transaction register, and go from there. Okay. The next thing is period end processing. I started with Sage back in the dark ages when DOS was still around. And I remember with my company, I used to go through a case of, uh, of wide paper every month for period end process alone, all by that, and just stored it because long before Paperless Office came along. And then, when Paperless Office comes along, everything is just stored electronically, and I reduce my stock in the paper company. I come in here, period end report maintenance. That's not what I want. I didn't want maintenance. I wanted period end report viewer. Pardon me. And I click refresh, and then here's all the reports that I did for closing AP for the month of April. Okay, and they're available at any time, whatever you need to, for whatever purpose you need. Have any questions? I've been kind of quiet. I usually get one or two questions on these presentations. But once again, I would encourage you to turn on and activate your paperless office, and then just have everything stored there. If you still feel the need to print everything out, and that's fine and dandy. And from the preview screen, just print it out and do with it whatever you are required to do with it, or what that you want to do with it. Any questions? Okay. Once again, Paperless Office works very well for the journals and registers. You enter a journal entry, you enter an invoice entry, a sales invoice, sales journal for your ASO invoices, your period end reports come in here, and as part of your period end, come in here. What I do is set up the reports you want, and any report that you see in the report menu can be put in as part of the period end report. And you can get rid of these also, whatever you deem appropriate. Okay, and that's about all there is to Paperless Office. Okay, journals and registers, period end reports, and forms. Those are the biggies for that make Paperless Office useful to people. Sure, there's no question. I know you're still out there because I haven't seen anybody log off yet. Okay. Thank you, Deborah. And once again, I would think you'll find it's very useful and can fulfill the need for both keeping things internal, allowing us to research, allowing you to research a problem if something comes up, and um, and you need to look at something, even if you need to look something up going back a couple of years, depending on how long you've had Paperless Office turned on. Any other questions? Okay, then. So with that, I want to thank you for attending, and I hope you all have a great day. Everybody stay cool in this nice summer heat. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out, and we're happy to help out in any way we can. Thank you, everybody.